Now this, I am looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. 10 things WWE wants you to forget about Stephanie McMahon. Obviously, this is by WhatCulture.com. When we're doing a reaction to this, I have been looking for this for a long, long time. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Stephanie McMahon, the filthy, dirty, disgusting, brutal, bottom-feeding trash bag hoe. Gosh, I'm never going to work for WWE, am I? Well, in for a penny, in for a pound.
I don't think any of us are,
The billion-dollar
mate.
princess is all set to become the queen of wrestling when she assumes control of the business with her big hammer enthusiast of a husband. She's one of the biggest figures in wrestling, ranking a solid 9 on the Leno scale of strong chins, and while the Lady Macbeth of WWE may be on top of the world, there are more than a few ignoble moments in her past. This
I'm
list is
so
basically
looking
my
forward to
WWE
this.
career suicide note. Hope you f***ing like it. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about Stephanie McMahon. Number 10, kissing Bischoff for no
Remember
reason.
that?
Eric Bischoff is my Patronus, my grinning deity, the man after whom I model every single fibre of my being, the handsome, virulent tooth factory. Remember when Bischoff was the GM of Raw and Steph took SmackDown? The two would bicker constantly, and the sexual tension was so thick you could spread it on toast. Well, it turns out the two actually gave in to their feelings for one night, just one, and it was never mentioned again. It was Halloween, and Eric Bischoff broke into Steph's office disguised as her father, which already conjures so many delightful psychological quandaries. Eric removes his Vince mask and then grabs Stephanie for a kiss. She initially fights him off, and then it appears like she likes it, and then the two kiss on a desk. Then it's forgotten about
cringe.
entirely.
I mean,
it makes sense to
flashbacks
me
to
that
that.
someone would want to kiss Eric Bischoff, but you'd think they'd at least get a story out of it. Fun fact, Eric would then go on to kiss Linda McMahon, because L-A-D. Number 9,
Proper
HLA.
lad.
The Ruthless Aggression era was really weird. Like, the Attitude era was grotty, but this is completely f***ed all the way up. In 2003, Eric Bischoff, and again, if I had a Game of Thrones house, his smile would be on my f***ing banners, he introduced a new company policy whereby 2 lesbians would occasionally come to the ring and kiss in front of a bunch of rowdy male fans, thereby pinning good taste to the wall and repeatedly shivving it in the stomach. At Unforgiven 2003, because of a match stipulation, Steph had to engage in HLA with 2 women in their underwear, rubbing her, and I have a law degree, what am I even doing here? Anyway, out came Rikishi in drag, she kissed him too, and it's all such a PR nightmare. Never mind. Number 8, the I Quit match. Speaking of public relations, what says fun Sunday night out than a father throttling his own daughter with a bit of lead pipe? At No Mercy 2003, good year for Steph that, Big Daddy Vinny decided that Steffels wasn't being a very good GM and wanted her to quit. How? By making her participate in an I Quit match, which, by the way, is what they'll have to do to me if they want me out of this job. I will burn all of you down before I go. It sounds like an intriguing match on paper, but in reality, oh geez, it was awkward watching a man hit his own daughter with a pipe and then choking her.
It was awkward,
it's just
like.
a bad 9 minutes. Number 7, Backstage Tyrant. Being a McMahon guarantees 2 things: that you will walk weirdly and that you have the ability to throw around arbitrary power backstage. In 2002, Steph was made Director of Creative Writing, and since leaving the company, several ex-WWE writers have come out of the woodwork to say that she is as tricky to work for as it is for Run DMC to rock a rhyme that's right on time. The reoccurring problem that Steph had with the writers is that she believed they should not act like marks. In wrestling terminology, a mark is someone who enthusiastically buys into what the wrestlers are selling.
I think I
Steph
hear
would
that term
chastise her
about
writing staff
multiple
for
occasions.
acting like marks if they complimented a wrestler on his work in Japan or talked about bleeding or talked about any aspect of the business. Once, Court Bauer used the term blading, and for being an outsider and using an insider term, Steph forced him to go around the locker room and apologise to each and every wrestler
I didn't hear about
Number
that.
6, the affair with Triple H. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are an item. I know they try and hide it on TV, but the clues are there if you look for them. There's one. There's another. This is a big clue. Triple H and Steph were thrust together for the McMahon-Helmsley regime, and a relationship between the two blossomed like a flower made of veiny meat. Problem was, Triple H was engaged to China at the time, and in
A lot of people
2001,
seem to
according
forget
interviews
about
China's
that.
had since leaving the company, she discovered the affair, contacted Vince, who replied, "Well, I guess the jig is up." As she told it, she was let go from the
that
company
was
shortly
wrong.
afterwards. Now,
That
the
was
exact
completely wrong what they
circumstances
did
of
with
China's departure
China.
from the company are spotty at best, but the affair occurred, and since China's death in April, WWE will definitely want it forgotten. Number 5, that charity tweet. Steph is a weird
remember
creature,
this?
not just because she's a
I
McMahon
was
who's
fucking
therefore
livid.
biologically
I
positive,
remember
doom
a
cloud
lot of the
person,
YWC
but
members were
because she's
so
one of the
angry about
biggest heels
this.
in the business, but also the face of WWE's numerous charity drives. WWE have been incredibly present in the charity sector in recent years with Be a Star, Star, Susan G. Komen, Connor for the Cure, and many other worthy causes, which is great, until you see this tweet sent by Stephanie McMahon, in which she quotes Biz Stone, co-founder of Twitter, and saying, "Philanthropy is the future of marketing, it's the way brands are going to win." Well, doesn't that just throw every single charitable thing that WWE's ever done in a much darker light? It's all a calculated marketing campaign. I mean, sure, the fans could probably guess that, but don't actually say it. Number 4, the boob slip. Ah, boobs. Here's to them.
Gemini's probably...
Stephanie McMahon.
Gemini's probably watching this, alright?
Size over the years, the eagle-eyed Chris Jericho often took delight in pointing
Gemini's a Stephanie McMahon, man.
Quite liked the attention and decided to go into business for themselves on an episode of SmackDown. In 2002, the
shout out to Gemini, by the way.
Fact fans amongst us. Triple H was feuding with Jericho and Stephanie at the time and had the $1 billion princess set up for a pedigree when her lady boobs fell out of her dress. It's been edited on the network, sorry perverts, but live it was briefly out there for all to see. Number 3, the incest angle. Vince McMahon is crazier than a lift full of rabid bats.
Dude, there were
and there's
so
no better
weird
evidence for that
storylines
than the
back
one time
then.
he pitched an incest angle for TV. No, seriously, this actually full-on happened. Steph herself spoke out about it on a DVD about Vince. She was pregnant at the time, and ever the bat showman, Vince pushed to have himself be revealed as a father. No, seriously, this actually happened. What happens in Vince's head? It must be like the Battle of the Somme in there. When Steph said, "No, Vince, no, my actual father, you're not going to be the dad of my unborn baby," Vince said, "Well, okay. How about Shane? Why must you be so mad all of the time, Vince?" Number 2, the 9/11 comment. After the horrific attacks of 9/11, WWE actually did a great thing. People throw a lot at the company, but by organising a live SmackDown mere days after the attack, the first mass assembly of its kind since, Vince and co sent a brave and powerful message that we are not afraid. That's great. It's just a shame that during that episode on September 13th, Steph put her foot in her mouth in a big way. She did a piece to camera about how a few years ago, her family also came under attack. The incident she was referring to, the steroid trial, where Vince was taken to court for allegedly distributing drugs to his wrestlers. Whether it comes from a place of attempted empathy or not, comparing the deaths of thousands to your rich father being taken to court for drug distribution is a hugely tasteless and frankly delusional thing to say. And number 1,
I was waiting for
Macho
it.
Man. And so the nails go in my coffin, bang, bang, bang. Right, so this has always been merely a rumour, but it's one of the most persistent and shocking in wrestling, so we're just gonna tell you. In November 1994, Macho Man Randy Savage left the company, and allegedly one of the reasons for his departure was that he had slept with Stephanie McMahon. To complete the picture, Steph would have turned 18 in September 1994, so... oh dear, a lot of oh dear. WWE have never breathed a word on whether or not this rumour is true, but it's worth noting that of all the characters to leave WWE for WCW back in the 90s, all of them came back except for the Macho Man. He was never seen again on live TV and scarcely mentioned until after his death. This is putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5, but even if it's only a rumour, it's definitely something WWE want you, me, and everyone to stop talking about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to make my front door as sledgehammer-proof as possible. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share,
Adam.
subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, that was good. So it was. I don't know. Like, to me, the Randy Savage thing does look likely to happen. And it's a bit suspicious. A, because Stephanie's never commented on it. B, WWE's never commented on it. And Randy even talked about it when he was shooting on Triple H. He was like, "Oh, I got Stephanie on my back" and shit like that, and he was saying a lot of things. So, yeah. I didn't know anything about that 9/11 thing that she said. I actually didn't know anything about that. Or the, if I'm trying to remember what other ones was there, was I think it was like the incest story. I think I vaguely remember that there was a story going around that because I remember reading like some of the articles that were talking about it, about stories that nearly happened or whatever. But yeah, wow, very good video, I have to say. This was the one that I was looking forward to the most, absolutely. And great job by What Culture. And if you want to check out the original video, go to What Culture Wrestling. Check out the video for yourself. They also have things you want to forget about Shane McMahon, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out.